This conference will now be recorded.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Clueless Day Trading Frank. It's approximately 9:10 p.m. on an absolutely picture-perfect, gorgeous evening here on the New Jersey-New York waterfront, overlooking New York City and Lady Liberty. It is July 28, 2019. This is a strategic webinar, the weekend webinar, like we always do. And we have a couple of terrific members floating in. We have Jody, we have Trina, and we shall begin. Full disclosure, this is purely for financial education, not for any solicitation or advice. Session will be recorded, uploaded to the Google YouTube channel for viewing by all members and free trial subscribers and anyone out there with the internet connection, so they can hear the wise words, not from me, but the wise words that are coming out from the tactical charts that we trade upon. That's it. Nobody in life is that wise. Some are smarter than others. Some are faster in reacting to situations. That's what makes a trader great. That's it. On that note, we shall begin. So, what you see in front of you is an incredibly intense tactical chart. This is the command central that I operate from. Some of you know my face, many of you don't. And that's the way it is. Because if I keep on showing my face and my beautiful family and stuff, you guys might be distracted from focusing on the charts. So that's the way it is. So this is where it all happens. Okay? You have two laptops here that are not being shown. This is a very big tactical event. So make sure you focus on this, all right? This is where the 20-inch reader, all the different charts, and this is one of our 6 rescued pets who are my what should I say? My partners in crime. So this is the one which looks like a total, it's a Maine Coon tabby mix. Looks like a little leopard. Just loves the heat of the screens up and down and just lies around there. And this is where I sit. Okay? So that you know. And this is where I just put out my trades. This is where I trade, because what the trades I'm putting out, I'm taking those trades. So it's not just like, oh, you guys take the trades and I'm going to sit aside. No. This is where you have the Twitter feed, the quad algo HFT screens, the VIX right here, briefing.com, another news service that tells me what's going on a real-time basis. Sometimes I pick some ideas off them, but it just keeps me posted, aside from CNBC and all that stuff, which is always delayed. That's the most of the times. That's why I'm putting out the news, breaking news, important breaking news, prior to it hitting the media. That's it. So that's the setup. We call it cluelessday.com, tactical, not emotional, algorithmic high-frequency trading warfare. Which brings me to a very important point before I get into charts and all that stuff. Anybody who's a member, anybody who has access to my private Twitter feed where all the content is delivered, you guys only have one obligation. I don't ask much because I don't really care, so I don't really ask much. But if you think something is constructive, like, comment, share, and of course you're following, so that's a given. But when I see 5 likes from the same people, which I'm not going to name, over and over and over again, I know something is going right. But how about getting likes from 50 people? Think about that for a minute. It takes one second to hit like on a post or something. Now, why is it important to me? Because I like likes? No, I don't care. I like my trades. I like my P&L. My profit and loss number on the right-hand corner of my Thinkorswim trading screen. That's what I like. It's important because it allows feedback. Feedback, ladies and gentlemen. So I know that what people are liking, so I can improve my content. So if you are that lazy and you're making money off my trades, hopefully you are, because I put a lot of great trades out there, okay? And you're not even hitting like, the digital media, I know exactly who's doing well, who's not. How do I know? Because I'm inside your room? No, I can tell by the digital feel of what I see. Am I right or wrong, Jody?
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? Just some feedback so I can improve my content. Hi, Sue. How are you? Haven't seen you in a while, but I know you're around. And Trina, you too. Hit the likes once in a while because I know you're active. You're passionate. You're picking up trades. So hit the likes. Not because to make me happy, just so I can improve my content. I can see what people are focused on. If I get a lot of likes on the S&P E-mini charts, then I'll try to improve them better. Or a certain particular stock, I'll improve it better. That's to your benefit. Remember one thing, it doesn't benefit me on all the charts I put across because that's already in my book. I'm just trying to help you guys. And I'm no socialist or left-wing Democrat, which says, oh, I'm going to help everybody who doesn't want to work and want to sit there and do nothing. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have a monumental week in front of us. Let me try to write that down. Monumental. M-O-N-O. Monuments. Monumental week in front of us. You guys already know that by now. Okay, monumental week starting tomorrow. It is going to determine the fate of the market for the next couple of weeks. But the market's being a freaky being, thanks to the algorithmic high-frequency trading programs. They might change their mind like in 3 minutes, but this will determine the overall directional bias of the market till, like Jody pointed out when we did the calculations. Jody, tell us, when we talked about it a couple of webinars ago, when we did that 8-week calendar count, day count, when the market might peak. Jody, you remember that? You're the one who said it after I showed the whole week count.
When the Fed makes a decision?
No, you forgot. You have a short memory because you pointed it out as I counted the charts on the long-term charts. Labor Day. Remember that?
Yeah, I do.
Exactly. And Labor Day, you pointed out to me because I always forget dates. September 2nd, you said?
Yes, it is.
There you go. That might be the ultimate peak in the market or prior to that. So there you go. And we can actually show it as we did on that webinar. So let's get something very important before we get into the charts, which is the economic calendar coming up for this week. The most important thing that's going to happen this week is the Federal Reserve interest rate decision. Oh boy. Every single bond trader, Wall Street bond traders specifically, and then the stock traders are all ready, and the big investment banks, which are always trying to steal our money, you know that, okay? I'm ex-Wall Street. I know it. They don't want you to win. Trust me, most of the time, they are all going to create massive volatility because they know that's going to scare the living daylights of all human traders and leave their positions out in the dust while they take the market higher. That's the way it goes. And I've shown that to you guys repeatedly. So let's start off with what's tomorrow, July 29th. Thank God for giving us another day to live. I read an amazing quote I want to show tonight. You know how everybody says you only live once? And I saw this on Instagram, and this is the way I live. And the next comment was, no, you live every day. You die once. Think about that for a minute. Every day is a new day. To redeem yourself, to make yourself a better human being, to make yourself a better trader. You live every day. You die once. You don't just live once. Gotta use the spiritual aspect in trading, guys. When I have that one big summit, which is coming up sometime this year, and many of you will attend it. I'll probably do it in New York. Okay? This is what we live. There has to be a purpose. Have your purpose. Why you doing this stuff? Monday, July 29th. Dallas Fed Manufacturing Survey. It's okay. So I'm going to just put it like this. It's okay. Nothing important. Tuesday, July 30th. Remember, this is the end of the month. FOMC meeting begins. Nothing comes out, just begins. Personal income and outlays, important. Red Book, retail sales, important. Core Logic Case-Shiller Home Price Index, important. But who the heck gives a crap about home prices? Because depending on what part of the country you live in, home prices are either going a lot up or kind of flat to down. We live in the most expensive parts of the world, New York, New Jersey. Property taxes are sky high, home prices are sky high, big time. So it's not really a thing. I mean, it's not really a big barometer of the US market. Consumer confidence, very, very, very important. 80% of the GDP, gross domestic product, which was very strong thanks to President Trump's business policies. I'll give him that 110%. Our durable goods number, GDP, was very strong in front. 2.1%, love it. Okay? Consumer confidence, very important. Pending home sales index, who cares? 4-week bill, 8-week bill announcement, no one cares. Wednesday rolls over. What's the biggest thing? What's the biggest thing? This is the biggest thing. So, simple suggestion, because I don't advise, I suggest. I'm not your financial advisor. I am not your broker. I am not on Wall Street. Okay? I am ex-Wall Street, which I love. So, FOMC, Federal Open Market Committee meeting announcement. Interest rates. Ladies and gentlemen, as we get into Wednesday, you better reduce your positions. I don't care. Reduce long positions. I don't care if you are a day trader or a swing trader. I don't care what trader you're in. Reduce your long positions. And I'm a bull on the market. You know that, based on long-term tactical charts, short-term tactical charts too. But the reaction of the market, whether it's a quarter or a half percentage point cut, and I'm not going to get into a long-winded discussion about what they should do. I'm not the Fed boss, okay? I'm just a very smart reader of the markets. I don't care whether they cut rates by a quarter of a percentage point or half a percentage point, which is in numerical terms, the market will react intentionally. The machines will react to completely mess all of us up. Okay? So reduce your long positions. That's the best piece of suggestion that I can give you as we get towards Wednesday. I don't care if the market is running up. Reduce your long positions. Because once this happens, yeah, we might go up 300 points, but you still, I'm saying reduce your long position. I'm not saying get the heck out of the market. I might propose a hedge, like a SPY put. Cheap hedges, which expire on Wednesday, because whatever's going to happen is going to happen on Wednesday, on the Federal Reserve rate announcement with a press conference after that. So Jerome Powell, he's an amazing guy. Really like him. I know President Trump, my New York boy Donald, keeps on pissing on him, but he likes him too. Trust me. Okay? He's going to be grilled at this press conference. So there's going to be a lot of volatility on Wednesday. Lots! Wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So reduce your long positions. We'll put a little hedge out there just in case the market plummets. What if they don't cut rates? I can assure you, if they don't cut rates, like no rate cut. Jody, can you tell me what's going to happen to the markets if there is no rate cut?
Market's going to drop.
Like it's literally going to drop 400 points. Thank you. So a hedge is good. Buying some cheap puts on the SPY, if the market drops 400 points, you're going to make 400%. You know it's happened before, Jody, right?
Yes.
So, yeah. So let's be prepared. We don't have to go hog wild. Put a couple of $100 towards the puts. And if they don't go work, fine. You're not going to be out on the street. But if it does happen, now what the Fed does, we're assuming he's going to cut because he's almost guaranteed it. He's a straightforward, he's like a guy, for a while, you have a drink at the bar, he's like, oh, I'm going to do this, so fine. If he doesn't do it, that means he's a schmuck, like we say in New York, a jerk. So he's got to do it. But what if he just changes his mind and doesn't do it? And the market is going to drop 400 to 600 points, if not more. Just warning you guys, all right? This is the way it works. When he cuts the points, the markets will shoot up. If he cuts 50 basis points, which is if the Fed cuts half a percentage point, markets will go up initially 200. This is the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Just letting you guys know beforehand, to 400 points real fast. Now, I'm going to pick on Jody again because I think you understand my philosophy of how I do with things, the strategy. If the markets shoot up 200 to 400 points, what do we do?
Take some profits.
We sell. Sell 80% of your long positions. Not the biotech long positions stuff. Those we love, right? Those things are working out fine. But general trading positions, sell. I hope all of you who are listening to this understand the dynamics of what we're talking about. And I'm never going to put Jody on the spot, but sometime if you really want to understand the tactical nature of what I do, I think Jody has a pretty good grasp of it. But if you do need to talk to him, you need to talk to me first. I will ask his permission, and then if he says yes, maybe you can speak to him. Is that okay with you, Jody? Just to help everybody else?
Well, that would be fine, Frank.
Yes,
Anytime.
and I will be the screener. I'll be the tough screener. right? The New York guy who says, nope, sorry, you can't get into that club. So yes. So anybody who wants to understand why somebody can overall really profit from a lot of things that I'm doing, well, contact me. I'll ask Jody's permission, and if he wants to talk to you, you can certainly can. And he's an all-American patriot, real guy, not some hotshot 17-year-old day trader. So we'll go from there. Okay, let's move on. So so that's what we'll do. We'll sell. The market might come down a little bit. Those tactical charts and everything that I draw might pull back, and then boom, go up. But we need to be prepared. So let's be prepared for Wednesday, okay? Right there, FOMC, Federal Open Market Committee. Then we go into Thursday. Challenger job cut report, no one cares. Job things are strong, U.S. economy strong. Thank you, Donald, for making the U.S. economy strong. All good stuff. Now, the thing that's missing in this whole picture is the China deal. Because on Monday, Secretary Mnuchin and Lighthouser and everyone is starting to speak or traveling to Beijing, which is Peking. They've named it Beijing. So this is very important. You know they're going to cut a deal, but that back and forth and the tweet out of President Trump, this and that is so annoying. You know that. And then China coming out with some BS tweet. They need to make a deal. We need to make a deal. That's all what President Trump was elected on, right? He's a deal maker. I'm a New Yorker. We're deal makers. We don't get mad at people. We make deals. So this is starting on Monday. So this is not reflected in the economic numbers because that's a extraneous factor, right? So keep that in mind. PMI manufacturing index, very important. That's purchasing management index, inflation numbers. But why is it not important? Can somebody tell me? I know you're all smart. So think for a minute. Why is it not important? Because it's coming out on Thursday. Can somebody give me a smart answer so I can be impressed?
Because the Fed has already made its decision on Wednesday.
Thank you. Made my life so much simpler. Jody, big hug. Yes, because the Fed's already coming out with their decision. So this is meaningless. This will be left for next month. Thank you very much. Construction spending, very important. But all these numbers, nothing important because the Fed has already made the decision for that 1/4 percentage or 1/2 percentage point cut. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm a very sharp tactical trader. I don't win on every trade, but boy, do I win on most trades. You all know that, okay? If I didn't, then I wouldn't be speaking to you right now. But you have to understand the backdrop. That's the difference between clueless trading and the rest of those trading services out there. We are exclusive. We are like that club in New York you can't find. And not a crazy club where people are doing drugs and stuff, but a club where smart people are hanging out. You have to find that door to knock. We don't advertise and scream and go nuts. Only thing we have out there in the social media world is an Instagram channel showing a bunch of powerful options charts that we have alerted, which all of you need to follow and tell all your friends to follow. And at least you get to see some of those option charts, which I don't have time during the day to show on my Twitter feed. How much fun is that? So the key is, if you don't understand the backdrop of what I'm explaining here, then what the heck does the charts matter? Because I will mention one thing, and I do these ACH sessions where Trina and a whole bunch of other people attend over the weekend, early in the mornings on Saturday and Sunday. It's not the content that I'm producing. We're kicking butt on the content, in between a couple of losses here and there, and dollar cost averaging moving higher. It is all of you changing mentally what you're doing. It's the mental part, not my content that I'm putting across. And that includes me. I should be doing, none of us are where we should be. None of us, including me. So let's just keep on moving forward. Let's keep on moving forward. Friday comes around. Employment situation. Okay, consumer sentiment, very important. But like Jody said, this dictates what's going to happen for the rest of the week and for the rest of the month that ends on, well, the last day of the month is July 31st. But it sets the tone for the first week in August. All right, end of story. Everyone with me so far?
Yes.
All right, that's good. So let's take a good look at what is going on the real world. And I'm going to keep this real simple. And then we'll look at a couple of stock charts. Because that's what we do, right? It's going to be a very tricky week. It's going to be a very profitable week, ladies and gentlemen. You need to be on your toes, swing or day trader, I don't care. But you do need to keep a very close eye on every single real-time Twitter feed that I put out there. You're going to make a lot of money if you are focused, somewhat quick. You might say you're very busy, you don't know how to watch the market. Fine. Put out some sell orders out there on those options. Put some stop losses on the options, and you'll be fine. Let the automated systems platforms that we trade on do their job while we do ours. I have the luxury and the hard work of sitting across 14 screens and navigating everything and shooting out what I think is going to be the high probability winning trades out there and the charts. That's my job. That's why you pay me the monthly fee. Which, by the way, I'm going to raise by about 300% by the month of September. I'm not kidding, 300%. So your $70 a month are going to go up 300%. Do the math. I'm just kidding. Of course, I wouldn't do that. But there will be a slight increase based on the costs of what I've been getting back from my website guys and everything. And that slight increase is going to be very slight. So just letting you guys know. All right. So the $70 for the gold membership, I think that's what it is. I don't even keep an eye on it. Is not going to go to 300. Okay. So, but it will be a slight increase. Just letting you guys know. So let's see what's happening here on the front of the market. Futures right now are down 2.5. And this is where we are. I'm going to compress this thing really hard and ask all of you a question. And Sue, feel free to type in or just say something. I know you're there. Sue, can you hear me? I guess Sue doesn't like me. Sue, are you there? One second. She's a very old member, by the way. Okay, no response. Fine. So Trina is very good internal chart reader. I do believe that. Trina, you there?
Yep, I'm here.
I need you to answer this. And they're straightforward answers. What do you think's going on with the MACD on the daily, on the S&P 500 E-mini futures as, 1 second, let me just change the pen color. What do you think is going on? And no one's holding you to it, just asking your opinion.
We're slowly turning up
Correct.
from red to green.
And what is the most important thing about the histograms that I talked about this morning?
Yeah. The histograms are expanding to the green side. They're
not expanding. They're contracting. The red are contracting towards the green side, right?
Correct. Yep.
And when that happens, there's a pretty explosive move on the markets, correct?
Correct.
Now, would you agree with me that we are not certain if that's going to happen because the markets are markets, but at least from what we can see, they are, and let me just make this a little bit more palatable. And thank you for your interaction, because people love to hear from members instead of just my voice. So this, at least from a standpoint, is climbing higher, right? They're getting smaller and smaller.
Yes.
And when they start to go green, which can happen, this is a daily chart. The market pretty much explodes higher for a couple of days, right?
Yep.
And this stochastics on the histogram, what pattern does it look like to you?
Bull flag.
Like a bull flag channel type of thing, right?
Yes.
Okay, I agree with you on that. I'll follow you on that, Trina. So that is exactly what's going on. If you draw a straight line, this, ladies and gentlemen, as our very loyal member for a while and advanced coaching student, I have to admit that, always attending the ACS sessions, really, that's commendable, is a bull flag. Now, you can draw bull flags on stock charts. You can draw patterns on internals. This starts to, it's shrinking, it goes green, the market explodes higher. Are we going to go up a gazillion points? No. So we're going to look at the upside as to where the S&P 500 can go, or the E-minis, which is a direct correlation to the S&P 500. So Trina, on the same note, I'm going to ask Jody. So Jody, when you look at this, and I do want some feedback, because I want to know like how my people are looking at understanding the charts. So when you look at this, Jody, this is the full stochastics, underlying strength of the market. What does it look like overall to you? Straightforward, honest answer.
Looks very bullish.
Like
It's
it wants to break out towards this end, right?
Yes.
Now, what is the only part which is stopping it from being like a confirmed bullish, which is the percentage K line, which is the orange line, right?
Yeah, that one's going
Yeah,
down.
so this one's still kind of pointing down. What we would like to see on the daily is this one turning up, in
Yep.
which case it'll be just like bombastic. Now, let me ask you guys a question, because you guys have been with me, and you know I'm always early on the game, buying things when nobody wants to watch the market. Generally speaking, where is the biggest money made? When this thing has already turned, or when you're predicting a turn?
Predicting a turn.
Right. That's also kind of risky. So we look at the external pattern and the outside environment, what will happen, to determine whether this thing is going to turn. Do you both agree with me on that?
Yep.
Yes.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. And by the way, everyone listening to this, these people are not paid by me, all right? They pay me. So please, because a lot of services, you know, they pay people to like, you know, just mimic like what you're saying and this and that. That's what we do here. We're not fake America. We're real America, all right? These are real people. They're just sharing their thoughts and what they see. So this is very important to us. So let's take a look at the market. Oh, I'm like such a frigging jingoistic. You guys know what that means?
No.
Jody, you should know. Jody should know. Jingoistic. Yeah, Google it. It means like a hardcore patriot. Like nothing can go wrong with America. Like, you know, one of those like real nuts. Like I'm like that sometimes when it comes to America, the business, the markets, right? I'm like, yeah, look it up. Jingoistic. You know? So part of education was in England. Just say none of you knew that, you know. So I should talk English. I went to a British boarding school, you know. Hello, Boris Johnson. Welcome to the UK. So I have a lot of vocabulary. Jingoistic is like somebody who's so stupidly believing in American exceptionalism. I do. I don't like some of the things, you know, that sometimes Donald spews and all this stuff. But do I believe in this country? Oh my Lord. It's not even funny. So when I look at this chart, do I believe in this chart? It's almost like flows out. I want to get you guys like really passionate about this. So what is this chart? What is this pattern? Jingoistic. Okay, here's the word. I'm trying to spell it. Yeah, Jingoistic. I told you I was full of like useless knowledge. Look it up, okay, on Google. I mean, serious hardcore. It's almost like sounds like a New York word, like jingoistic. You learn something new, right? So that's the best part of the session. So what is this pattern? And Sue, if you can hear me, please answer. You know, don't feel
Yeah.
shy.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, now I can hear you. Love hearing your voice. How are you, Sue?
Yeah, I'm fine. I just muted the mic.
I know that doesn't matter. Sue, where are you located?
Oh, in the West Coast.
Which part?
The Pasadena area.
Oh, that's beautiful. Sue, you have been with real estate trading for a long time, right?
Yeah.
That's great. I hope that I'm helping you in some ways.
Yeah, great. A lot.
Okay, that's good to hear. I'm so happy to hear your voice because I remember that you were with us since 2015.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Right.
No, that's really good. So really good hearing your voice. I mean that, okay?
Yeah.
I mean, no, and how's your family?
Great. Thank
Uh,
you for
yes,
asking.
are your kids grown up or they're little kids?
Oh, they're grown up.
There you go. My kid's grown up too. He's going to be 21 this November.
Okay.
Yeah, you know.
Good. Yeah, good for
Thank,
you.
thank you. They're in college or they graduated?
Uh, one graduated, one in college.
Awesome. God bless you. Great
Thanks.
hearing your voice. Stay strong. Let's do it. All right, Sue. Everyone say hello to Sue. Thank you. You really made me happy tonight. You know, it's been a while since I heard your voice.
Thank
Okay.
you.
You're welcome. You're welcome, ma'am. So, to look at this, pattern that we're looking at. Okay, what is this pattern?
Is it a ascending triangle or it's a wedge?
Yes, 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 yes. A plus, right there. Give you the gold medal. Yes, it's a big ascending triangle, and there are other things happening too. But this is, to me, a very large ascending triangle, and it's a large one. Why is it large? Because when does the start of the triangle start? What date is this? April 29th. Many months from now, this is the ascending triangle that we broke out of. We already broke out of one ascending triangle. And that breakout happened on right before around July 4th, American Independence Day. Now we have the other big ascending triangle, which is this one. This one. So what are the chances that we break out of that? So let's look at the internals. Very simple stuff. Don't want to make it complicated. What are the chances this will break out higher? At least 200-300 points higher. So we will pull up the volume. Very important. Volume's okay. We like that. We had a big sell program a couple of days ago. Then we have the big buy program. This, very simplistically, I did a whole session on indicators with my advanced coaching students this morning. And we went through all this stuff. So Trina, when you look at the stows right here, what is this kind of telling you?
That
Like
they're crossing up.
overall, it's starting to move higher. Now,
Correct.
hopefully we want this percentage D line to start moving higher. Now, let's pull up another indicator, which is the MACD. We talked about this before. The MACD is still looking pretty damn good. And we just talked about it right now, that if it goes positive, we're going to break out of the ascending triangle, like Sue correctly pointed out, like big time. Now, ever wonder why all the big smart money and the rest of the crowd on the media always saying markets will crash, market. That's pretty much what you hear when you turn on the TV, right? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yeah. I always scratch my head because I come from Wall Street. 14 years I worked there till 2011. It's like, why? I still don't understand it. I know there's a lot of fears out there and this and that. Bond deals are so low, recession fears, but every chart is showing we want to go higher from a technical basis. So you ever wonder why they don't support it? Now, here is something I'm going to tell you, and this is what we call in life and in business game theory. Now, what is game theory? Game theory means that you are determining what's going to happen going forward based on what the indicators and the variables are right now. So I call it that the game theory analysis says that because most people are bearish, I'm going to put B for bearish, BR, that the market overall, based on technical things, is going to be bullish. And that is exactly what is happening every single week, every single month. So as long as the majority of people are bearish, individual traders, hedge funds, all that stuff, we are still going to continue to move higher just on a technical basis. You guys understand that part?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
it. Now, that doesn't mean that we're going to go up forever. You know, I get cautious intraday and this and that. It simply means that we have a good shot to, at least based on my structural charts, that at least we can get up to 3068, which means another 200 points, 200, 230 points. Best case scenario, remember these two lines, okay? These come back all the way from the crash, the Christmas Eve massacre. So I'm going to highlight these two, the overall trend channel. Remember, you don't need big shot Wall Street guys coming out of Harvard and Princeton and Stanford and Carnegie Mellon. And I went to a couple of really great schools, Babson and BU, which was second tier, but very good schools. Also to tell you that they are so wrong most of the time. So wrong. It's not even funny. So I will make this a little bit lighter, heavier. So the best case scenario is we get to 3,200. God help us that Donald strikes a real substantive China deal. The market's going to break out and head towards 3,200. So if we are at 3,022 right now, as you can see, and we go up 200 points, Trina, how much is that in Dow Jones numbers? Remember, the factor is 6 or 7.
1,400?
Yes. Sue, is that Sue?
Yes.
Always the good math mind. Okay, yes, 12 to 1,400 points. Now, is this going to happen in one day? No, but it can happen over. Believe it or not, it can happen. I'll be the first trading service to say it. It can happen before Labor Day weekend, as we projected, and my good friend Jody gave me the date, September 2nd. That'll be a lot. Now, that's crazy to think that the Dow Jones can go up 1,400 points. But boy, it sounded crazy that the markets could go up from here and the markets could go up from here. So the point that I'm trying to make for everybody is that technical analysis and stuff, yes, I am very right on so many things and this and that. But the thing that all of you have to keep in mind, that you don't have to be blind, but you do have to respect the fact that things can go right and not always wrong. Look, I'm a very straightforward New Yorker. You know, I criticize Donald when he says some stupid things, but I will always support him when he's doing the right thing for the country. And overall, economically, he's doing the right thing for the country. The biggest risk to the market saying all that is really bad tweets about China and stuff. Even though he's talking to them, he likes to make some bad tweets. And the markets can drop like really fast, like 300-400 points. That's the interim volatility risk. I understand that. But in the meantime, I believe they are going to cut a deal. And if that happens, this is where we're going. And if it doesn't happen, so let's look at that. If it doesn't happen and everything goes crazy, I'm not going to be like, okay, see you later. I have to go away for the day. I'm going to be guiding all of you. Then we have supports, 50-day moving average, 29.21. That's a lot. That's 100 points down. That's 600 points from year to year. I'm not going to be sitting around saying, oh, keep on buying. No, I'm going to say buy the SPY puts, do what you need to do, lessen your positions. I repeat, lessen long positions going into Wednesday. And the worst case scenario, we come down to the lower end of this channel, which is 28.68. That's a lot. That's like 1,000 points down. Now, that's the market. Enough of that. Let's talk stocks. We have a lot of earnings coming out. I don't have all night to explain that. I like Square. I like Square, guys. Okay? I like Square. Payment initiative. They're into Bitcoin, which I actually haven't traded for a while. I still have some money in Bitcoin, still running like way high. I didn't even look at it. I like this chart. Why? Simple. Let's keep it simple. This is a cup and handle. I believe that the stock is not at 100. It's not at 50. It is not at 60. It is right here. I believe they're going to deliver just the way Twitter did. And congratulations to all of you who bought Twitter. Jody, you had some Twitter?
Yes, I did.
Love you, man. Love you. Love it. Yes. Twitter's going a lot higher. We're going to look at that. Twitter actually changed their fundamental business model. And the only thing I know about Twitter is that I use the Twitter private feed to help all of you. That's it. What the heck? And the best part is I don't have to pay for it. So Twitter's making money somewhere else, right? Imagine if Twitter said, Frank, you run Clueless 8 real time. And let me ask you the question. You have to pay $10 a month to put all your content for all your members. Sue, would I say no?
You would pay it.
Thank you. Trina, would I say no?
No,
I would say yes, right?
or you would say yes.
And if they put 20, I'd say yes. If they put 50, I would say, I would say yes. You know why? Because I want to keep my members. Or maybe I've moved to Slack. So imagine if they put $10. I said this 3 years ago. That's the fastest way they can make money. If Twitter, well, I'll put the writings down when I put the Twitter chart. If they put $10 a month on business accounts like myself, you know how much money they would raise? Every month? Like $1 billion maybe? Based on how many business accounts are out there writing for free like me? Imagine what the stock price would be. Do you ever wonder why Twitter doesn't do that? I don't know. So looking at Square, I believe Square can get to 85, which from a options trader standpoint is at least 60 to 100% on your money, and best case scenario 92. End of story. If it breaks down, we're going to buy the stock at 76 or 72. I still believe that based on this pattern, and I think all of you would agree with me, this is a good looking pattern. Now, that's your external pattern. What is the internal pattern? The internal pattern is your stochastics. Trina, my stochastic specialist, what does this look like? Looks good to you, yes or no?
Yep, it's looking good.
Good. So you'll buy some Twitter calls right before the earnings on Wednesday.
Square.
Couple. Buy one. Buy one. Buy basket strategy. Buy one. Jody, when you look at the MACD, what does it look like to you overall?
Looks bullish.
Looks overall bullish, right?
Yes,
It doesn't look like this.
Nope.
Okay, sounds good. Hey, guys, we have validation from real members as to what they think. I agree with them, and I think Square is a buy before earnings. Next. So many earnings coming out. It's going to be a very busy earnings week. Now, this is a monster. Oh, my Lord. We put it out there on Friday. We have traded TTD, and Jody's traded TTD with me. I know that. A couple of weeks ago, a couple of months ago, we played last earnings. It was huge. TTD Trade Desk is the programmatic online ad software platform that powers Google and everything else out there. And now Amazon's getting into it. God help them. How happy are those guys? All American guys, great international minds in there. That is the good stuff about America. The brains at work. The stock is on a major frigging breakout. I gave it to you guys. It's up 300% the same day on Friday. I loved it. It just went nuts. Who doesn't like it when things go nuts? So based on what I can see, yes, we can get a quick pullback, this and that. The worst risk on this stock is Amazon comes out and says, no, we're not involved with Trade Desk. The stock will drop 10 points. Just letting you guys know, okay? Because there hasn't been any official announcement from Amazon. Just from the CEO saying they're working with Amazon. Chart-wise, looks fantastic. We have a major range breakout. Can somebody tell me what this price is? Sue,
Yes.
what price is this?
What price? What
Right here.
that?
Yeah,
176.18.
correct. So we're talking about a range, technical range here. What is the price here?
255.
Right. So I'm just using my $1 calculator from Dollar General to calculate this out. So 176. So that is 75 points, right? This the box, the trading box is 75 points. This trading box, is 75 points. This trading box goes all the way from May of this year to July. That is what we call a trading range. All right, overall. That is also a trading range right here. So if we look at this wide trading range, or we look at the narrow trading range, can somebody tell me what price this is?
220.
Right, this is 255. This trading range is 176. That's too wide. That's like too wide. So what's the difference between 220 and 255?
35.
So you add 35 to 255.
290.
Thank you very much. That is roughly 300, right? There is a very high probability the stock gains 22 points to 300. So if you're not in it, get into it. Because the news is too new. I called the stock as it was breaking out, then the news broke. So please, I screamed at my ACS session members this afternoon for not telling me why this stock was so important, because I printed it on my Twitter feed. You know that, right? Why it was important. The Google's platform, and Google was up $100+, and I, like an idiot, did not buy Google. So even the smartest minds can be scared. Those Google calls were up 700%. It made me throw up. Okay, and Google's still going higher, by the way. That is called sandbagging. Do anyone understand the word sandbagging?
Yeah.
Sandbagging means like last quarter, they didn't say much. The stock fell, what, 50, 60 points, 80 points, 90 points? They sandbagged the market. Means they just told the market like, we're not doing too well. They trapped it. The smart money bought it all at the bottom. And then they made a gazillion dollars because they delivered the numbers. So this baby can go to 300 and possibly to 330. This is a major stock that no one knows about that you guys can talk to. Hey, do you own straight desk? Like, what are you talking about? Like, Think or Swim? This is a serious stock. Serious. If we look at the weekly, oh my Lord. It can go a lot higher. And we'll draw another line here. Just technical lines. Forget about my thought process. Right from this breakup. 400. Ladies and gentlemen, before it gets to 400, the stock will be bought out. The company will be bought out. This is a very powerful, I don't see this too often, by the way, pattern. Look at that. It's not even a W pattern. It's like, sorry, 1 second. And as a technical trader, I have to respect it. This is like a really geometric pattern. Like, this is like transformer pattern. Get it? Do you guys understand what I'm saying? So bottom line, what happens is it moves a lot away from the moving averages. That's the only danger, that it can need to pull back. But there is so much juice in it. And I bet you it was shorted big time. This is a serious pattern like this. This is like your kids when they were young putting Legos. My son was a big Lego specialist. We used to go to Legoland. We actually went twice to Legoland out there in California. I don't know if you guys ever been there. It's unbelievable. This is a Lego pattern. We have square, we have this, and finally, what do we have the biggest number coming out this week? Anyone? Earnings? One of the biggest companies?
Apple.
Huh? Thank you.
Aapl, right?
Yes. So you have to be in every session. I love having you. Thank you. In here. No, I'm serious. It's fun. Okay. Look, if I was a crazy nut like I used to be back in the days when I didn't have responsibilities for 100,000 plus college tuitions, okay, and everything, I would go crazy on this stock. I would. Like, look at this. If you didn't know it was Apple, you would be just like, what? Boom! Apple, I believe, will get to 215, 220, 233. I don't know, but I think it's going to happen. Look, Tim Cook is a very smart guy. Tim Cook doesn't piss off Donald, because if you're a business leader, the last thing you want to do is piss off Donald Trump, because he's going to tweet you so you get sleepless nights, right? So you don't want to do that. You want to work with him. Tim Cook is working with him. How many times has he been in the White House? That's nothing to do with technical analysis. It's called networking. Now, when you look at this pattern, I know I have a megaphone pattern, right? Which, in my opinion, will happen. So if I was really crazy, I would buy 6 month out calls, which I might put out there tomorrow. 6 months out, 260 Apple calls. How about that, guys? They're pretty cheap, I'm sure. 260. And just say, you know what? I'll buy a few. I'll leave it in there. Let's see what happens. Are you guys with me on that?
Yes.
So let's figure out what the 260 calls are. Okay, I'm looking at it because I've never looked at it myself. 6 months out. 6 months out. So I'm going to, bear with me. I am going to detach and bring it down and put it there. 6 months out is what, guys? Somebody tell me.
January.
You're the best with calendars, man. I love it. Okay, so January, let's look at January 17. So I said 260 calls, right? Because that's where we think Apple's going to go based on the megaphone. 260. So where are the 260 calls on Apple?
I see
a
$1.
$1.06. Now, this is what fascinates me about the market. Bear with me 1 second. I'm trying to get my marker in here. Oh boy. I can't seem to get the marker. Where is it? I'm trying to get the pen so I can highlight it. Hold on. Okay, I can't get that. Oh, hold on. I can get it. Okay, so bottom line is that if I look at the 260s, we are looking at $1.20. Now, why does somebody have 25,000 contracts open interest sitting on the January 20th, 265? Why does somebody have 20,000 contracts at 60 cents? That's a lot of money sitting at 270. Why does somebody have 33,000 contracts at 210 at 13? That's very expensive, by the way. Why does somebody have 13,000 contracts at $1.12 at 250? Ever think of that? That is that smart money, just putting stuff away and just sitting there. I wish sometimes I could be that smart. And this is Apple. Why would somebody bet that much money? You all understand what open interest is, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the amount of calls that are bought and sitting there. And the volume is what is being bought every day. 25,000 contracts at 265. By the way, this is the first time I'm looking at it, thanks to all of you, because we're discussing Apple. Ladies and gentlemen, that it's called forward thinking. Sometimes, this is the last thing I'll say before I close this session out. We don't have to trade every single day. Yes, I'm forced to look at the market every single day. It annoys the crap out of me a lot of the times. But the fact is that I can open my think or swim thing. The fact is that you can buy things out there based on my charts as a swing trader and say, yes, I'll trade small money during the day, but I will leave some good money out there with a lot of time. With options, the worst enemy is time. The stock is not working out during that time, we get hurt. So keep on pushing out the time frame, i.e. buy longer strikes. And this, ladies and gentlemen, for some reason I can't get my pen on the thing. So I couldn't draw it. But honestly speaking, this is a good looking chart. And Apple could very well break. See, we're talking about small moves here, 215, 220, big money on options. But if you look at the bigger picture, the stock, looking at the internals, look at the STOs. You don't need to be a rocket scientist. Even the percentage D is turning. On the S&P, the percentage D wasn't turning. You guys agree?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now this is turning. Look at the MACD. If we were truly technicians, look, I try to follow technicals as much as I can, but just like all of you, there's real money involved, so I make stupid mistakes sometimes. I take my biggest stupid mistakes are I take profits a little bit too early. With my kind of expertise and charts that I'm showing, I should be making a lot more money. And I'll get there. Now, maybe in my older age, I'm getting a little bit too conservative. I need to be more aggressive. So all of you need to apply the same thing. Look at this. A gaping mouth. Both the stows on the MACD moving higher. The MACD histograms moving higher. Yes, not as high as this when the stock ran like a monster. We did play bunches of this move. Unless Apple really disappoints, the stock is going to go to 215, 220, and on a longer term basis, there are 95,000 calls waiting at the two. What did we show?
265, is that?
1 second. Yeah, 265, right? Here, there are 25,000 calls at 265 interest, 13,000 calls at 300, 25,000 calls, 33,000 calls. This is an expensive option. I like to look at the ones that return single digits. So 12,000 calls at 245. So why? These people are stupid? Maybe they are. Now, there are also puts on this side, but based on the technicals, what I can see, this is still a very bullish chart. Very bullish chart. Now, what happens with Apple? Last thing I'll say, that night or the day after means nothing. It is what happens on a daily or weekly basis. Remember, this is a weekly chart, is what will determine the fate of the stock. Everyone with me on that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so guys, listen, let's wrap up 10:16 p.m. Let's enter the week with a positive mind. Let's thank God for every day He gives us, which I mean. And God bless you all. Sue, great having you here. And anytime you want to do some coaching sessions, let me know. And Jody, always a pleasure. Trina, and the rest of you going to hear this. You wished you were here with these great people. God bless you all. Good night.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.